Once again, it is time for the latest edition of Selfie Guesser, aka Guessing Subscribers' Ethnicities. So, yeah, I'm gonna start off with the answers for the last episode. But before that, I just want to give a shout out to this guy who goes by Speed Metal Savage in my Discord because he submitted a lot of pictures to this series. He's helped this series a lot. Um, so I think he deserves a shout out. And he has a band called Callus, and I'm gonna leave a link to his band's Instagram in the description, so you should check that out. And yeah, shout out to you for helping so much with this series by submitting so many pictures. But yeah, so getting into the answers for the last episode, person number one in the last episode was this girl, and apparently she is half Italian and half Irish, or Italian slash Irish. I don't know if it's exactly half. I guessed Italian and German slash Irish, so I was pretty close. I'm happy with my guess on that. Um, person number two, I guess Norwegian, and apparently is German and English. Uh, yeah, I mean, I did say he looked generally Northern European. Then aside from that, I knew I was just making a vague guess. But yeah, a lot of people would consider the Norwegians Germanic people. Anyway, okay, I was a bit off, but yeah, this guy's German and English. Person number three, um, I think I ended up guessing half Italian, half British for him, and I got the Italian right. Apparently, he is Italian, Lao, and Venezuelan. Uh, so I guess I can see it now. I definitely wouldn't have guessed that. That's a pretty unique mix, but I'm happy I got the Italian part at least. So I'm pretty happy with all those guesses so far. And this is person number four. All three pictures um, are person number four here, and I guessed Finnish, and he is Ukrainian. So I was off for that. But both Eastern European, again, not too dissatisfied with that. This guy, I was definitely well off. I guess Cypriot, and apparently his dad is from France, and his mom is an Australian mix of uh, the British Isles, basically. So Irish, Welsh, Scottish, and English. And yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have guessed that. Uh, I do think you do look more Southern European, but like that obviously happens sometimes with British people or anywhere in Europe. Sometimes you get people who look more Southern or Northern in general. So yeah, was off for that one. The next two people here, I guessed that they were both Russian, I think, and they're both Polish. So, I mean, those are both Slavic countries. Like I wasn't that's not super far off, but yeah, okay, I was wrong. This guy on the left apparently is German and Polish, and then on the right is Eastern Polish, so maybe more related to Russian. Um, yeah, a bit off, not too disappointing. This guy, I guess he was English for obvious reasons. Apparently, he is Manx, which again, that's not too far off. I don't know much about the Manx ethnicity. So Manx is the Isle of Man, for anyone who doesn't know, in between Britain and Ireland. And I don't know what ethnicity are Manx closest to. Like I don't know if they're closest to Irish, Scottish, Welsh, or English, but only slightly wrong for that one. Like technically maybe it was wrong, but barely. So not too disappointed with that. And this was the next person. I guessed Russian, and Russian was correct. And then this was the final person. I guessed Albanian, and that was correct. That's the guess I'm most happy with because as soon as I saw him, I thought Albanian. I was confident, and my confidence was well placed because apparently he is Albanian. So I think that's the guess I'm most happy with because it's a bit more specific and it's more of a rare ethnicity, you know, than guessing like with a white American guessing that they could be part Italian, part British. It's kind of a more vague guess. So this is the most specific one, so I'm happiest with that one. But anyway, it is now time to get into the next 10 people. So this is person number one, and he sent in three pictures, and that's relevant. So he also sent in this picture. So this will be person number two, and this picture. And it's relevant because um, person number one knows these guys uh, and isn't the same ethnicity as this guy. So they're not the same ethnicity, but they're all from the same place. So, that changes the situation. I would say this guy looks possibly North African, but also might be a little bit, he could be North African, but also could be a little bit too light to be North African. So I'm kind of thinking more like Lebanese or Syrian. Could be Jewish, but yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking it depends on where he is, right? If he's France, if I assume that these guys are all in France, then it makes him being North African, like Moroccan, Algerian, it makes that more likely. So the guess for all three of these people is going to be kind of a package guess. I kind of have to make a guess about where they all are, and then where they are kind of impacts what they're likely to be. So I think the three most likely uh, scenarios here are that they all live in either Sweden, France, or North America, and that this guy is like Middle Eastern, that this guy's I mean, does this guy look Scandinavian though? I guess he could be, although he's a little bit dark. This guy I feel like looks Scandinavian. It's kind of I wouldn't have guessed Scandinavian if it wasn't for this guy. He does look quite Scandinavian, but if I have to go with my gut and what I don't know, my gut is telling me that you're from Quebec, you're Lebanese, this guy's French Canadian, maybe mixed with Native American, and this guy is, I guess, Scandinavian. He looks most Scandinavian. If you are in Quebec, I guess that's not super likely, and he could just be French or maybe German and British background. But I'm just gonna go for that as my guess. I'm gonna guess that you're Lebanese, you live in Quebec. This guy's French Canadian, maybe mixed with some native, and that this guy, I guess, is Scandinavian. It doesn't really go with the Quebec scenario, so maybe he's just like French, but whatever. That's gonna be my guess. This guy's Swedish. I'll go Swedish specifically. French Canadian, Lebanese. So those are my guesses for the first three people. Person four is mixed, and I think it's pretty safe to say I feel pretty confident in saying that he's probably half white, half East Asian. Where exactly? Oh, my camera fucking fell. Fuck. Where exactly the white part is from, or the East Asian part, is the tricky part of this guess. But I'm gonna guess that you're half British, half Filipino. That will be my guess for you. This guy, so for two people on this, like there's a bit more hints. I have like a general vague impression just from conversation in the Discord. So this might not be the most pure guess. Uh, but I'm gonna guess. I think my gut is that you're Russian. I think you're Russian. I do think you look Eastern European, and I did get that impression. I have a vague like memory that you might be Russian from the Discord. So it's not the most pure guess, but whatever. It's a guess nonetheless, and I do think you do look Eastern European. So I'm gonna guess Russian. And for the next person, this guy, I did notice that on the wall it says Guatemala, and he does look like that. I'm gonna have to guess that this guy is Guatemalan. That's gonna have to be my guess. Next person's this girl, and yeah, she could be mixed. I feel like something about her face doesn't look um like Western European, or like the standard like Northwestern European type of white person that would be the major background in American whites. I think it's she could be that, or maybe something mixed. If I have to guess a single ethnicity, I'll guess Polish. I don't feel too confident on that, but I'm gonna guess Polish. And then, so I guess this is person 7. Person 8, this girl. I think this girl is standard white American, so mostly British background, I'm gonna guess. Mostly, like, yeah, English background, maybe some German, maybe some Irish, but just standard WASP British background is what I'm gonna guess for this girl. Person number 9, when I saw this guy, I don't know, for whatever reason, I had a gut instinct that he's Croatian. I don't know exactly why. I just think Croatian. That's what comes to my head. Maybe I shouldn't just immediately go with that, but I think what else am I gonna go with? I'm just gonna go with the immediate gut intuition that this guy is Croatian. And the last person, again, this is the other guy who it's not the most pure guess because I have an impression just from conversations in the Discord that this guy is Finnish. So that's gonna be my guess. I do think if it wasn't for anything, if I was judging purely on the picture, I think I would still guess Scandinavian. I know Finland's apparently not technically in Scandinavia, but I mean, basically. Um, I think I would have definitely still guessed Scandinavian. Maybe I would have guessed Norwegian or something though. Because you kind of, in a way, look like Varg, I would say. There's some resemblance. Uh, but yeah, I have the impression you're Finnish just from the Discord. So I'm gonna guess Finland for you. And that's gonna be all the guesses for this episode. If you want to guess in the comments or whatever on the Discord, feel free to do that. Or if you want to partake in the next episode, join the Discord, post pictures in the selfie guesser section, and you can be on the next episode. Hopefully, there is a next episode. Discord link will be in the description, as well as uh, the link to that band. And yeah, that is all for this episode.